you know, even with the way that her ultimate works and everything, you obviously have to be conscious of placement and stuff. Yes, you can work with your ultimate, but still, you have to be able to get to that point. Now, the damage does come a little bit sooner here. This is a better option, I feel like, than the Claude, like what we saw previously, right? And we saw how much, you know, just how much damage a great Melissa game can turn out for a lot of these teams. We've seen successful games, we've seen not so successful games on Melissa alone. So hopefully this is the answer for Indonesia, at least in the gold lane, right? You got to start somewhere, and hopefully you get that gold experience that you're looking for, gold lane experience, you build up, and then you're that big source of damage for Indonesia as they get through that mid to late game later on.
Yeah, good source of damage, good source of vision. Well, a lot of pokes actually could either be used against Mongolia right now. This is a good draft. Heading towards this game number 2, it's match point for Mongolia. Let's see how Indonesia bounces back from this one. But looking at the coverage right now, hovering onto our map, we're looking at Super Ken, we're looking at Vin, having or gaining control mostly on the Franco's threat early game. Probably we all know how this delay goes. Continuing, you have great cover now. Vin denies the cover for the Franco. I say they're trying to have a great start for Super Ken.
Let's get match point. Indonesia, life on the line here. Best thing they can do is just, you have to avoid these Ethan hooks, man. Like, if that starts the snowball for Mongolia, it's going to get very grim very fast. And you can see, you know, Indonesia playing with a lot of aggression here early on. They want to get that lead the best they can. They want to get some of these battle spells out early on before, you know, the first turtle of the game comes up. And if they can find a lead on any of these heroes, especially whether it's Vin, whether it's Moreno, that will help them set themselves up for success to take us to a game 3. Again, they're the ones carrying this part of the game, right? They need Sakin to just go ahead and farm up here against Bebex, as we see both teams getting it situated. Yeah,
by looking at the matchup here up top, we're looking at the Glue, Aizen, we're looking at Chorizo. He's mostly on this sustain now, so no flickers, no jumps. What he can do is he has this way of isolating members out of team fights since Iesf is present. The threat is there, we have Magic Shoes pick up here for Bid, we have extra cooldown now on the first 2 to 3 minutes here to just keep on poking everybody out. But in a few seconds, we might see the first turtle contention from these two teams. Having out on level 4, we see Super Ken now, and also Sizora is still on level 3. Now Indonesia has more advantage of having coverage, having more damage to the turtle. So how will Ethan now be up a vision? I think it's be denied.
Yeah, just great call there from Indonesia. Okay, taking the turtle as they do. They decided, like, all right, guys, let's go ahead, lock this area down. They're still gonna go. Nice pick off there. Moreno drawing the first blood. Huge pickup. Able to get it, again, working with Vin here. That duo alone, the Novaria, the Eve, will be deadly, right? You're going to have to work with being seen, being slowed, and being shot down from a distance, and it's tough to deal with, right? That is a deadly combination. And right now, Vin just continuing to just harass where he can, whether it's the bottom lane, whether it's that mid, picking people off.
That was so precise. Landing the RWM. We're on the closest pixel you can land from Ethan's slither of health. At that point in time, they were securing more of the defense that they can go, because again, Super Ken was advanced by a bit of an XP up against Sora. So the advantage from that is having a little bit of damage, having the Electro Flash present, or the Quantum Charge. The two emblems right now present for Indonesia actually benefits for more extra regen, as well as more ways of having yourself, well, being more on the team fights and just surviving on your own way. So by this point in time, they're just trying to get more coverage on the map, and just looking at the EXP lane, we see Cesar as well as Aizen just having this poke and exchange with one another. Look at that, off cam. We're looking at 3 members up top, still holding the lane, but from the gold lane focus here, we have Sakin and as well as Bebex. Onto the lead, they're still in par with one another.
I think the biggest thing here, too, if you're Indonesia, is really trying to decide, all right, later on, especially mid to late game, little cheeky pull there, Ethan. But, you know, how do we deal with not only having the fairness over there, right? We got to deal with this Nether Realm. We have to burst that down as fast as possible, not to mention, you know, the 3 kind of durable heroes that they have as well, right? That was just taken. Super Ken able to get that purple buff from ZXOR. They might give this one a go here. Super Ken taking a couple shots. Here comes Rizzo, the rest of the team. The shots from down under. NetherRealm will be used though. Still going to be going at it, looking for a kill first off. They get the flicker out. Super Ken stuck here with a split. Eisen might be looking for a kill there. He's a little bit longer. Forbid will finally fall though. Super Ken a couple hits away. Can he get it? Eisen can't get the shot.
So tanky.
Super Ken able to get away with his life.
It keeps on happening. He's trying to survive this one. Second objective is up here. Cesara secures the turtle here. And this time around, man, by the ultimate that Moreno used, that time around, Mongolia was like sustaining. It was Forbid's way of like having a great regen out of the poke damage from Vin and from Moreno alone.
Man, and like that, you know, it's scrappy right now, but trading some of these objectives for the kills is kind of what they have to do. But what you're seeing is, yes, Indonesia, they are putting the pressure where it has to be, and a lot of that is in the jungle. They're making it uncomfortable, basically, for ZXORA. It's very different from the game he had previously. There's the Iron Hook gonna land, and the Bloody Hunt to follow. He's in trouble. Super Ken can't escape this one. Will finally fall here to Bebex with the torn apart memory. But it's going to be a trade, the 1-for-1 for now. Ethan fell. The rest of the team's still going to be going. It looks like both XP laners also thought they wanted to make their way, but they end up just going 1 versus 1 in the jungle, forcing each other back, still looking for more, but at least Mongolia is on the board.
And just as that, we are looking at the solution of Mongolia being in the middle of the team fight and pokes of Moreno and Vin, having or utilizing more of that NetherRealm as long as the RWM has been placed. It's a great way of sustaining that team fight, but this is just 4 members onto Zorizo alone.
I don't think, oh yeah, I was gonna say there's no way, right? Even though you are Uranus here, you have that Consecrate, you can't withstand that much damage. So goes down here, another pickup. The next play though, once again, Turtle gonna be up in less than 30 seconds. Ethan finding some of the hooks that he needs to, right? But ultimately still, if he doesn't have it, he has the flicker, he has the Bloody Hunt available to him too. They can play around that. Bebex picking up some big item here as well, the Malefic Roar. Eisen also locking in that Radiant Armor.
They're trying to catch up. Mongolia, on the other hand, right now, onto the lead. Yeah, we're still looking at a small lead here from Indonesia, but one thing that we're seeing here, that's why the comments from Forbid right now is just showing, is his heading on probably for his third item, which is the glowing one. But right now, with the capitalization of the fleeting time, gives an extra CDR. But right now, fight's about to break here.
Eisen buying some time. This is what Glue does best. Vin able to spot them out, gets the vision they need. Turtle's still going to be worked on. Less than half health here. ZXORA in control of it though. Goes and gets it away with Retribution. Super Ken quite low as ZXORA going to slide through, looking for another. Ethan flickered in, get the lockdown. There's the NetherRealm, but look at Moreno, sets up the RWM in a perfect position. Cerrito can't get away though. Forbid has to flicker out. The Iron Hook's going to land. Socket will unleash though into the ultimate. They can't do anything about it just yet. He's a couple hits away. Goes down before the double kill. Bebex finding it himself. Another trade, the 2-for-2 from both teams here. It's neck and neck.
2-2, but that win still is coming from Mongolia. Bebex has 301 KDA. Sakan was a bit of the first casualty to go down in Indonesia, but using that Needles and Flowers, especially the go away, was a bit of a great protection there once they landed and once the NetherRealm was initiated. From that moment on, it was go time for Mongolia to find a different target to even shut down 2 more. But having a way of looking at Sakan's open area was just a bit of an advantage for them to take down or slow down a bit the progress of their marksmen. But just standing onto their defense here, Cerrito on the other hand is doing great work of the boxing out, even for the zone out against Mongolia. But this time around, a lot of things of especially cooldown reduction is showing for the composition for Mongolia. Forbid right now keeps on using, you have the ultimate up once again. A lot of sustain is showing here, and they would really want to eye on getting a push on the defenses of Indonesia.
I like that you pointed it out, right? Hold on. Still going to be looking for a play. Ethan going to find Iron Hook once again into the Bloody Hunt. Should be a kill. Moreno will fall under the tier 2. Sakan a little bit late here, trying to keep it at bay. They want to hold on to this. We're 20 seconds away from that Lord. Looks like ZXORA wants to challenge this purple buff. Will take it from the hands of Super Ken, all leading into that next big objective. If they can get the tier 1, great. ZXORA going to bait them out a little bit more here. Ethan was looking for his own setup under the turret. Eisen goes. Split comes through. Lord is going to be now up. Tier 1 will fall. Still going to be going for it. NetherRealm had to be used. So Forbid, utilizing that ultimate, they might go ahead and respond with this. Indonesia has the information they need. RWM going to come down. They find the stun. They have to get out of here. Mongolia on the retreat, forced out. And Indonesia might be able to just go ahead and take this Lord unless Mongolia has something to say about it. Ethan trying to get in position. Chorizo holding them down at bay with his Uranus. Lord now half health here. ZXora in trouble, gonna get taken a couple shots here. Sakin with the go away. They'll find the jungler of Mongolia. He will fall, and this will be a free Lord for them as they take it down. Meanwhile, the rest of the action ensues. Lord finally goes in the hands of Indonesia. Aizen still on the run. Mongolia now on the defense.
That was a great stronghold defense coming from Indonesia. As you've seen, 3 ultimates were down. Ultimate of the E from Moreno, ultimate of Sakin, even ultimate of Vin. As you notice, it was trying to poke each other out in the distance because at that point, their hits or even their basics right now can even hurt by just being at 10 minutes right out of the game. So by that point in time, they're relying on Superkin's damage and having a great amount of control. This is a complete defense against the sustain lineup of Mongolia.
Okay, the assault here in the mid lane. It's only a matter of time that Tier 1 will eventually fall. Look at the Astral Recall shots here. Ethan's going to have to go back to base, charge back up. Lord still has to be worked on. They're going to meet them, clash it out here. Tier 2 trying to hold on to it. They're actually going to give it a go. ZXora now going to be in trouble. Forbid there to help him out, but it's a little bit too late. Will fall in the jungle. Lord finally get the Tier 2. There's the RWM. Bebek's now in trouble as well. The lockdown comes through. The Nether Realm is not enough as well, but Super Ken will fall. So actually, yeah, a clutch Nether Realm to keep him alive. But again, how many times can they do that? They're keeping it even economy-wise. Indonesia still looking to make plays, though.
Sakin hurts right now, completing and just utilizing. And he didn't even use that Inspire right away, saving for the right moment, but in just the damage, it hurts. Once they get a catch onto Mongolia, they just keep on going. Now, just by checking on the progress here of Sakin, you have the Groshan Scythe, you have the Golden Staff just picked up here, especially the Demon Hunter Sword. You have more ways of just piercing through the defenses of Ethan and as well as Zora, and not to mention Aizen as well, who has the Molten Essence that has the Blade Armor, even the Radiant Armor. We have 3 defensive items here present for this blue. So with this point, either one could be isolated from Indonesia, but the damage right now for Sakin and even Moreno is just working perfectly. Right now, they're buying more time here because even by just looking at the gold, it's not too far from one another.
Yeah, they're pretty much keeping it, even. Bebek's also just picking up the Wind of Nature. Ethan gonna find the hook on the target. Can they grab the kill? Super Ken gonna be in trouble. Goes in, can't get it just yet. He regens a little bit more. They're still gonna battle it out. Netherrealm has to be used here. Moreno just sitting pretty there, setting down the RWM. They don't have any follow-up just yet. Ethan finally falls here. Super Ken is still alive somehow, some way. And they keep it together. Indonesia now pressing the situation. Full force, 5 people up. They're going to go ahead. ZXora is going to be slowed quite a bit. Appraiser's Wrath on the defense, but look at the shots coming out from Sakin. Looking to clean up. Gets it there, right under the turret, Indonesia.
There you go. Super Ken surviving the grab from Aizen. He wanted to box out one member from Indonesia. We're talking about defenses present for this hero, and he has the confidence to do so. One thing that was a bit of a problem there, that he was out of distance for the team to actually reinforce with damage. Right now, Indonesia has more ways in melting down this Lord quickly, and they're having a bit of an advantage for a push. Now hitting the Astral Recall, Aizen's position has now been showed, and that's an Astral Echo as well being placed down. Just checking up, where is the members of Mongolia heading?
Yeah, a little bit too late, right? They were trying to see if they could get there in time. Unfortunately not. So now losing some space to work with. ZXora trying to just kind of hold that down a little bit longer. Will get forced back. They have to deal with the Lord now. It's going to be marching into this base, charging up here. Aizen trying to play that front role. Ethan, it's going to be up to him too. If he can find the hook that he's looking for, possibly even the Bloody Hunt. Won't find that connection. They try to keep Lord at bay. It's going to charge into the turret. Look at that, just clashing down here. Flicker after flicker. Netherrealm has to be expended, but ZXora will fall. Sakin now still looking to unleash, picks up the Malefic Roar on top of it. They're happy with the mid-inhibitor turret going down. Eyes set on the top now.
This is just
there's
damage right on the hook.
Finds one. This is going to be one death. Super Ken finally fall in here. Can they hold on a little bit longer? Aizen was quite low. Turret, they're trying to hold on to it. Should be able to clear it as they do. A little bit of health left, but Indonesia still planning themselves here on the top side of the base.
This is the pickoff that can be a disadvantage for Mongolia. Once the hook is gone, once the Bloody Hand is gone, you can't find a place for Bebix to land those hits. You have to land those damage onto Indonesia. So one thing they're considering here is how will they make Bebix damage work into the back line of Indonesia. Because as we can see, there's a lot of B-line, there's a lot of borderline of Impure Rage poke damage potential by the Vision of Vin has been doing throughout the games of Indonesia. This is just a complete red carpet for Saken to take so much kills in the defenses of Mongolia. At this point in time, Bebix is struggling to point or have those targets right in, even just by using the right amount of basic hits to proc the ultimate of a Brody is even a struggle. So by this point in time, they're looking for a great avenue or a great pickup from Ethan. That actually, this is the hook that we're talking about. If that works completely and properly, effectively, that's a great way of securing a kill or even isolate one member from Indonesia.
Yeah, at least for Bebix, he hasn't died yet, but you can see kind of the struggle here for this lineup from Mongolia, right? The struggle is you're just waiting on Ethan. Is he going to land a hook? Is he going to get the Bloody Hunt off? Right? Maybe Forbid can also, flicker, use the Stampede, drag someone if they want to, but ultimately it just kind of comes down to waiting for Ethan to land a hook for the most part, right? Now, on the other hand, Indonesia, they have multiple options. Not only do they have poke potential, but even just having an Eve at this point, right? Moreno, you can just set up that death box, if you will, with real world manipulation. And yeah, Saken is having an amazing game so far too on this Melissa, right? Able to just pop off, use that go away ultimate if he really feels pressure. But for the most part, man, no one's really been able to get to him that much, right? Other than some of those choke points within the jungle. Now, as we put our focus on these Lord takes, that's where it needs to come through for Mongolia if they want to contest this. Look at their positioning. They're getting ready for it.
Well, speaking of positioning now, Forbid is looking for someone here to spot inside of Indonesia. Now, by just having the half HP on this objective, Zoran Superken is present, but where is the roam? Where's the tank of Mongolia right now?
Okay, they're going to make
no
their
information,
way.
Though.
Less than half health. They're going to force Indonesia back here. Look at the damage already coming through. Netherrealm has to be used. RDBM going to come through. They get the Netherrealm out. Lord's still going to be worked on. ZXora grabs the Lord, but they have to win the fight here. Aizen will fall. Saken still pretty much untouched. Gets the double, forcing Mongolia back here. They're on the run. ZXora has to live. He won't be able to. Falls in his own jungle. It's only Bebix and Forbid. Bebix tries to get away to base. He can't get away, though. Has the immortality, used that torn apart memory, gets the stun, tries to buy time. He finally gets in. What a play. Immortality will be popped, though, and he'll eventually fall. Still buying time.
Wow.
Bebix, look at that. Picks up the meteor
surviving.
and goes, and he's still alive for a little bit longer before he falls, but what an amount of time he bought.
Diversion, sustain, and just by the Brody alone, Bebix buying enough time for the minions to even push. Having the Lord on their side, this is just complete way of just waiting for the members of Mongolia to go back and respawn. Completely pulling out the attention of Indonesia to him.
Wow. Bebix. That was his first death. What a worth. That's where you say worth, first death of the game, worth, because holy moly did he buy so much time, and it kept Indonesia concerned, right? They continued to chase him. They had to deal with the Lord. Yes, ZXora came through getting that, but what can they do from this point, right? Again, gold-wise, it's pretty much even, but space advantage right now, obviously, for Indonesia, and they're still a force to be reckoned with. Ethan has to be clutch here on the hooks if they're looking for an advantage in the number department.
Well, speaking of numbers and advantage right now, this is a complete reset on the waves, on setups, on team fights. Right now, they need to be wary of the positioning on who could get isolated from here. If Vision is concerned, Finn actually has more of the potential now to keep using that Astral Echo. On to this ultra late game that we're actually experiencing, this is the window of the Navarre to actually show and keep on shining and keep on spamming those skills and finding out where are the members of Mongolia. So Vision right now in the late game is on the side of Indonesia. How will they capitalize on that, knowing that they have the tools right now?
It's crazy, man, right? Again, tournament lives here on the line here for Indonesia. They want to take us to a game 3. Mongolia is just giving them the hardest time to get to that 1-1 in the series, to break it down to a final game. Vin picking up the Ice Queen wand here will help them a little bit. Again, they're really trying to just slow down some of the members here of Mongolia, right? Slow them down, pick them off with the Astral Recall if you can, and meanwhile, just avoid these hooks. Now, the downside too is if Ethan hooks the wrong target. And by wrong target, I mean either Super Ken, Chorizo, right? Because they also have the immortalities. And if they waste too many resources on trying to get a follow-up on the hook, on the wrong target, you lose so much firepower here. So they're gonna go ahead and get ready for this next Lord of the game. Either team, either way. Look at the positioning, though.
Look at
both
Ethan.
teams.
Look at Bebix. Wow.
Key points for this positioning.
Revealed though, using that Astral Echo, Vin has completely exposed where is Bebix and Ethan. Now, more information Indonesia now has can be used against Mongolia, but who's going to take this objective now? This could change everything.
Again, Chorizo trying to hold down that front line. Lord going to be about half health here. Both teams, crucial how they do it. ZXOR quite low. He's getting poked down consistently from Vin. Now Eyes in the front of it all. They got to wait a little bit longer. They're going to go ahead and let Super Ken deal with this Lord for now until they give it a go. RWM going to come out here. Look at the backside. Even goes in with a flicker. He finds the lockdown. Netherrealm has to be used as well. Can they turn it around? Lord was secured by Super Ken, but they're trying to turn the tide of the fight. Super Ken on the run. Immortality will be popped. They don't have Sakin, and they lose 2 for Indonesia. They did get the Lord here, but now Mongolia setting their sights on the top side. They've got the numbers advantage. It's looking dire here. Can they defend? They need another 30 seconds or so, even with this Lord charging in down that mid lane.
There is a wave onto the base of Mongolia right now. Astral Recall has been placed. A lot of members right now. Mongolia is exposed. Look, the Lord is out of the lane. Completely joining the fight.
There he goes. Moreno cleaning up the kill. A little bit of a misstep there. Ethan gonna land the hook here. Bebex trying to get the kill. They get the lockdown. Moreno will fall. Netherrealm used as well. And now still dealing with the Lord here. It's getting a little crazy, a little sloppy, but both teams just slugging it out. Mongolia wants to end this game if they can. This Lord is beefy, though. It's the 4th one of the game, finally taken care of. They've got to manage these waves as well.
Oh, Ethan was supposed to recall that second, escaping the possible takedown of Chorizo. That Lord actually aided the team fight. Being out of the lane, completely gaining an aggro of this objective is an extra, a bit of a bite, even damage onto that meat point. So at this point in time, another reset is about to happen. And by just looking at the numbers right now, it doesn't even concern, it's everybody's ball game now.
Yeah, honestly, it's anybody's game, right? I mean, again, it comes down probably most likely to the next Lord if they really want to wait for that. But with a pick-off eccentric lineup that Mongolia has, it's always going to be Ethan looking for hooks. You can see a lot of his placement too. Again, this is where the timers, especially for immortality, start to play a role. The winter tranches play a role. And some of these item swaps, right? So now you can see just how spread too Mongolia is here.
Is just there. Completely having control. Look at the control now of Mongolia just by looking at the members across the map, from top, mid, and to even bottom. But nobody, even the game sense of Indonesia, they're trying to be cautious on what step, on what an approach to take, because last time they got caught by the ultimate, and you were questioning who will be the target. And the element of surprise with the Franco's Conceal and even that passive that works wonders, and even just having a bit of an attribute of damage, it's just a complete disaster that can be prevented from now on by Indonesia. They saw it coming. You had a bit of a lesson there. So they're just trying to be careful on what would be the next step is. 2 Divine Glaives present, by the way.
Yeah, both teams pretty much,
and Vin.
They're where they need to be, right?
All items locked in.
They're just swapping items at this point. You know, it kind of comes down to that. You saw some of the potions also picked up as well. This is the thing, though, right? Both teams have a different turret in the base down. There you go. They're going to go to focus on Chorizo here. He could be in trouble. The rest of the team come through. Sakin now unleashing with the Inspire. Has the damage. Mongolia falling apart. Ethan's immortality will be popped. Trying to bind a little bit more time. Forbid was not there. Mongolia loses 2 members. big pickup in response there from Indonesia.
Cerezo, by just being on that bush, completely forced Mongolia to take him down, but the sustain, having the Twilight Armor, having even the Winter Truncheon, was a great way of encouraging him to step on a trap.
This is going to be tough, right? They are going to get this Lord here. So now, that's the 5th one, OSX. We know how strong, you saw it earlier, the 4th one, man, it knocked out ZXaura, right? So this one is even tougher. You have to deal with it coming through to the mid lane. At this point, your base is going to be fully exposed, right? It's only a matter of time before those turrets go down. Indonesia will wait to walk this Lord in.
Okay, damage department right now, Indonesia is so high. 4 immortalities present and 1 nether realm to complement it, just in case things could go wrong. How can they defend this now?
Aizen trying to buy some time for the team here. They have to defend this. Indonesia looking to close this out if they can. The damage comes through. Lord's still going to be worked on. Crystal here. They don't have enough sustain to deal with it as they clash down. Lord still worked on here. Crystal a couple hits away, and we're going to a game 3. Indonesia holds on.
I was telling you, man, it's the Melissa. Saken getting hands back on that hero. How they actually started their playoff day right here in Iesf.